Sup, compassionate people? Welcome to Vegan News. And we're starting the year off with a sad story. I want to start with a kind of disclaimer before I go into this. This may be triggering for some people. And also, I never personally liked Anthony Milan Ross. He claimed to be vegan. He was actually plant-based, and he had some views on animals that weren't exactly aligning with the vegan ethos. With that said, let's move into the story and what happened with him. Pictured here, he was famous for losing hundreds of pounds and creating a diet, basically. And he treated veganism that way, and that is a big sticking point that is going to matter later in this story as I go into it. On Christmas Day, Anthony posted him and his son singing a Christmas song together. It was pre-recorded a few days prior, and a few hours after that upload, he actually murdered his son, his wife, and his 9-month-old child. Iris Ross, his ex-wife, dealt with his narcissism and abuse in the past. His son Nigel and his 9-month-old daughter Anora all murdered Christmas Day. He did not take his own life, and he surrendered peacefully to the police after a short standoff. This is a horrible tragedy. And the worst part of all is the vegan community is watching as mainstream media tries to make this a vegan issue, when in fact he was not even vegan. If he was vegan, he wouldn't have killed his family. He was plant-based, and that is an important distinction to understand. We have all these people, and with January coming in, Veganuary if you will, there's going to be an influx of a lot of new people becoming plant-based that think they're vegan, and we cannot have these mix-ups. I don't know a vegan on the face of this earth that would murder another human unless they had to in self-defense. For someone to systematically go through and kill the mother of his children and a 9-month-old baby. I mean, his own son, after he just uploaded them singing a Christmas carol filmed a day or two prior. It's disgusting. And it is some of the most non-compassionate, non-vegan behavior I've ever seen in my life. Anthony Milan Ross is scum. And I had a chance months ago, back in the summer, to make a video on him after one of his daughters posted on Facebook, which you can see here, Shalonda, who was not murdered on the 25th, but she talks about the abuse of her father and goes into detail. And I'm sure I couldn't have stopped it, but I think I could have made more awareness. So with that in mind, and I feel really bad for not making a video about it, and I put it on pause because I was afraid of lawsuits. He is litigious, just like another male in our movement that I know of who has abused his wife and his daughter and his girlfriends, and even ended up in the news for it, but it was kept under wraps. Well, I'm going to be making a video on him, and the legal ramifications are going to be there. He is going to sue me, and I put that off too. But it is important for us to call out the abuse of men in our movement. There aren't many of us to begin with, and we don't need our movement represented by monsters, by toxic masculinity. So that's really all I have to say on the story. The link will be in the description, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, or if we started on Instagram yet. I'm not sure about that. Thank you guys for liking and sharing, subscribing, all that. Have a great new year. There's a lot of good videos to come. My main focus is going to be on this video about this so-called man in our movement who actually owns a restaurant, and he knows who he is. He watches these videos. So go ahead and get your lawyers ready, because I'm not going to let it slide anymore. That's all there is to it. We have a duty to call out all abuse, especially on the people within our own movement who will tarnish what we're trying to do and who we're trying to save. You're not vegan if you hurt anyone else. And that's the reality. I love you guys. Have a great 2018. Happy New Year's. The next one will be a lot more positive, I promise.
Hey guys, smiling, and I'm hanging out with Nigel on Christmas Eve. And we're about to embarrass ourselves. We're gonna sing. You ready?
Yeah.
Me. Okay, sorry.